Hello, history scholars. Mrs. Olson here. This is the last and final project for the fifth grade social studies year. Let's begin with the learning target, which reads that you will be able to apply U.S. history knowledge into media form. So let's get a preview of the project. You get to be an expert on a topic about American history. First, you choose a subject we did not study. Then you conduct research. And finally, you'll show off your expertise in slideshow form. So on this final project lesson page, you are watching the video. You will also see that there is a link for the directions, and there is also a reference document that is about tips for researching, of which I'll make a separate video for that one. All right, so clicking on the project directions brings us to this. So let's begin at the top. The purpose of this is the research you complete for this activity will enable you to broaden and also reinforce your understanding of the characteristics of early American history, which is what we started out studying at the beginning of the year, and really what the entire year is about until we got to the government stuff, which has definite connections to now. The goal of this project is for you to create a slideshow that teaches about a characteristic of early American history. And once again, I do not want us to have studied it before. I want you guys to find a subject that is interesting to you, learn all about it, and then I want you to show off what you learned in the slideshow. So, number one, this is the process. So it's kind of a step-by-step process that you want to take for this project. Choose one topic that we have studied and that interested you the most. So out of these three big categories, you are going to choose one. All right, so we first started studying Native Americans. Then we moved into colonial America, so the colonists. Or you could study government, which has been the bulk of what we've been doing in the second semester. Okay? So first you decide which of these big categories, these big units that you want to pull out of. Make that choice. And then you go to the second step. Think about one aspect that you would like to learn more about. So perhaps you focus on something that is art related. Maybe you focus on something that is culture related. And within each of these topics, I've given you examples of what you could focus on specifically. So examples are with art, maybe you want to focus on paintings that came out of the colonial period. Maybe you want to study about Native American pottery or a certain type of basket that a specific tribe made. Maybe you want to focus on jewelry of the Southwest Native Americans. Okay, do you see how focused I am getting with the subject that you might want to research? Okay, so within culture, maybe you want to focus on music of the colonists. Maybe it's music from the Native Americans or a very specific tribe. You could do it that way. Here are other examples. You could focus on literature, books, maybe games that children played. One of my favorites, and I would probably choose cooking or food because I love that subject. Or maybe it's on rituals or ceremonies, religious ceremonies. Okay? Now I'm hoping you're getting the idea. I've included topics that relate to technology, architecture, and famous people. So famous people could fit any of these categories here. All right, moving on to the third step in the process. You're going to conduct research by visiting websites and recording information. So You could record your information digitally. So you could use a Word document, do it on a PDF, and some of you guys are becoming proficient at Google Docs. Any way that you want to record information is good. And of course, you can use the old-fashioned pen and paper, which is still a great standby. Okay, so you want to use at least 3 different sources, okay? One of your 3 has to be from a museum. And when we get to the tips for searching, I have got examples, or rather, I've got specific links for you to a museum's website. Final step in your project. You're going to create a slideshow. So PowerPoint is going to be a famous one for people to use, or you might use something like Google Slides. If you want to use Prezi, that's a good one too. I just didn't put it on your sheet, but all of those I am able to open and see what you have created, okay? So requirements that have to be in your slideshow presentation. You want background information on your topic. Always, always, always use your own words. So you can record information from any website and write that information down word for word, but you always want to make sure that when you put it into your PowerPoint, into your slideshow, that you are not copying it word for word, that you are using that information and writing your own words. Okay, in the PowerPoint, you also want to include visual artifacts. So they might be paintings, they might be photographs, maybe somebody did a drawing of this thing. You have to have images that portray your topic. There has to be a slide, or you could have several, that explain the contributions to society with this topic. This letter D says explanation on why you chose the subject and what was the most interesting part that you learned. And at the very end of your slideshow, I would like you to write a 3-question quiz, okay? So it says to write 1 question per slide with the answer on the following slide. So I just want to demonstrate that for you a moment. So let's say that this is your slideshow. Obviously, this is an example. There isn't anything on it. So you would write your question on this slide, right? So this is 1 question of your quiz, and then you want to go to the next page, and this is, this is where you write your answer, okay? Question on one slide, answer on the next slide. All right, back to the project sheet. That brings us to the end. I want you to ask me questions if you have them, and I really hope that you have fun with this project. I am very much looking forward to seeing what each and every one of you create.